I think the history has shown that anyone can be president of the United States. I definitely think that Dwayne would be awesome at it. And like any job, yes, you are the top of the food chain, but he would have the most amazing team, alongside to help him do everything. So I'm like, yeah, sure, why not?
Young Rock season 3 premieres on NBC on November 4th. So, how will this season, and anyone can answer, how will this season stand out from the previous 2 seasons?
I know for Rocky, it's going to stand out as him being in way better shape than the previous seasons. I got really ripped up for this season. Very excited about that.
Yeah.
You'll see a lot of the characters, the wrestlers and stuff that are very beloved to a lot of people. So that's going to be really exciting for wrestling fans. I think for Ata, her kind of character path takes her through some really interesting places, through sort of like taking over some more of the wrestling business. And yeah, that's it.
For Leah's character, the first season we introduced the family, of course, and the wrestling field, and then in the second season, we looked at how Leah was battling promoters. But this season, it's going to be a real twister where she's not battling promoters in the business. She's going to be having some rivalry amongst her own family, those closely connected. So there's a different dynamic this season 3. So it'll be quite interesting. You see more of that this season.
Of course. And Joseph, I wanted to ask you this. One of the things we saw in season 2 with Rocky is that he does what's best for his family, but he makes some questionable decisions. And that leads to a kind of a tough relationship with him and the teenage version of Dwayne Johnson. So will we continue to see that the complex relationship between those two in season 3?
Oh yeah, there's a really good episode with Bradley and Rocky. Well, with me with me and Bradley, who plays the teenage Dwayne. Sorry about that. That really gets into that kind of head-butting relationship that Rocky and Dwayne had. So very excited for the fans to see that one.
Of course. And Stacey, I want to ask you this. Ata Star makes a name for herself in season 2 when it comes to professional wrestling, takes over the business when Leah is going through her legal issues. And she actually talks about launching her own promotion based on everything that happens at the end of the season. So if she were to do that, do you think she would be more successful than Leah when it comes to running a promotion?
Well, we will see a bit of that in this season, which is really interesting because you've obviously, you've got that competitive kind of dynamic, but you've also got the dynamic between a mother and a daughter, and the kind of power structure there, and a lot of things come into play. So it makes for very interesting watching. There's a lot going on. And, for fans who have seen us through season 1 and season 2, it's going to be really interesting for them to watch and see that play out, because as we saw in the end of season 2, Ata thought she was next in line, and then she got passed over for Lars Anderson. So we get to see a little bit of that play out, and in true Young Rock style, it's sort of comedic and we've got a wonderful actor on board, Mike Holly, who plays Lars Anderson for this season, and he's just been awesome to work with. I try to hate him, but he's hilarious, and he's just it's a real adventure. So yeah, I don't want to give away too much, but you will see Ata's journey through taking over the wrestling, and we will find out whether she is in fact better at it than Leah or not.
One of the things I noticed about Leah, or one of the few things, is she's strong, independent, and wise. And even in this upcoming episode, the season premiere, season 3, we see her, let Dwayne, when he's in the WWE, let him do his own thing, while Rocky and Ata are trying to push him to do other different things when it comes to his character. So, what's the best thing about playing a character like Leah?
Well, it all comes down to experience. I'm a bit of the older generation, and Leah, more or less, we're a similar age. So there was always around family and business, and family, personal and professional relationships. So it's not as difficult as it may seem, although I'm not very business savvy, but there is that fine line about what you do is relation to your family and those about your business. So in terms of your question, there wasn't much preparation because it just comes down to experience as well as the words written by the writers, of course, and the script is just amazing.
Absolutely. And Joseph, I want to ask you this. You talked about how you got more ripped for season 3. So what was the training like for you heading into this season?
Weight training pretty much stayed the same.
Yeah.
This season was all about diet and really leaning down.
Absolutely. Yeah, I can definitely see that. And Stacey, I want to ask you this. Ada is very supportive and very patient with Dwayne, Rocky, and Leah. I think that's one of the best qualities about her. So do you have any qualities that are similar to what Ada has?
Yes. I think I've spoken about this sort of publicly before, but I have a daughter myself. For a long time I was a sole parent. I'm also working, obviously. I've got a job. So it's the juggling aspect of it all for me that I can definitely relate to. And when I see how Ata is written, sometimes I'm like, oh wow, this is hitting close to home, because she juggles all these things so well. So it's definitely something I can relate to in my own personal life. Yes.
Of course. And I want to ask you this. When it comes to Leah, you talked about how you and Leah are similar, have similar traits. But are you surprised how, when you look at Leah's history, like how much of a leader she is, how much she took control of that promotion and the legal issues? Are you surprised by everything that she went through throughout her life and career?
Oh, most definitely. There's a huge difference. I mean, she was battling against the Palangi, or the white man's dominance in this industry. So, being a Samoan woman of very humble beginnings to go into something very challenging, I mean, I could never do that. And I think there's so much about this woman that really untold, that should be told. She's very strong and battling in the wrestling promotion, and then trying to build her grandson and to keep her daughter in the industry that her late husband had started. So she's just a phenomenal woman, that very different from me, of course, because she's business savvy and she knows what she's doing, and she knew where she was heading. And I'd like to think that now she's succeeding in what she's trying to achieve. Yeah.
Absolutely. And one last question before I let you guys go. Obviously, with this show, the focus is on Dewey, teenage Dwayne, the adult Dwayne heading into WWE, but also the older version of Dwayne where he's running for president. That's also an interesting storyline as well. And at the end of season 2, we see him lose the presidential election. But at the beginning of season 3, we see the president call him and telling him that he's needed. Now, in reality, Dwayne has talked about being president, and he recently said that he didn't want to do it because he wanted to focus on his family. So do you see Dwayne in real life being president of the United States?
That's a tough question.
I think the history has shown that anyone can be president of the United States. I definitely think that Dwayne would be awesome at it. And like any job, yes, you are the top of the food chain, but he would have the most amazing team, alongside to help him do everything. So I'm like, yeah, sure, why not? I think it'd be awesome. And also not my country, so go for it. You guys do what you want.
Well, just look at his own achievements. Just look at where he's come from and where he is now. And to be named in the Forbes magazine as one of the most successful and entrepreneur with what he's done. And it's not just about financial, it's about the prestige, the reputation. So that all is included in the presidency, then why not? And good luck.
Well, absolutely. Well, great, guys.
I agree.
Yeah, Joseph, Stacey, Anna, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it, and continued success to all of you.